Welcome into this episode of Coach's Corner. Jordan Woodruff today, joined by wrestling coach Justin Roland, and Coach Rolo, as they call him. How's it going, man?
It's going good. It's going good. Busy part of the year for us.
Oh, no doubt about it. And you are geared up right now with wrestling, and we are in the heart. Well, kind of the calm before the storm, because once regionals start up, you get into the heart of things. But right now, you're just trying to get prepared, get ready to go, and get some guys qualified for state.
Absolutely. You know, we kind of had an unfortunate deal not making it to dual state, but what it's given us a chance to do is really prepare and gear up more so than normal for regionals, and it's been exactly that. You know, hard practices. You know, getting out of the room, practicing other places, but just pushing the kids, you know, mentally and physically.
Yeah, and talk about some of the work, because you're used to being at dual state, so you're not maybe as heavy because you're wanting those kids to go compete, have a chance there. But since you haven't had that, I mean, you got to keep that intensity up, right?
Absolutely, and it's one of those deals where the kids just feel better. You know, their weight's good, their weight's under control, they're eating, and so they're able to work real hard, practice real hard, and that's really what the focus has been. You know, we've been rotating, you know, conditioning, wrestling hard, technique, strength training. You know, it's been a mixture, but like I said, it's been more of a program that we're not used to. Normally, we're gearing up to go wrestling a couple hours at dual state. So.
Yeah, well, and last year you had first state champion, I think, since 2019. And we'll start with that. I want to go through some of the guys, but Chris Kaiser, excellent opportunity to repeat as a state championship this year.
There's no doubt, you know, and I told him, you know, you win one. I think that's the goal, is to at least get one when you enter high school. And he's got that, you know. So now we're house money. You know, we really thought about going 120 this year just to push him and get ready for college. But we ended up at 13 because obviously his brother's up there. And great challenge, you know. There's a real tough kid out of UConn. Of course, the kid out of Stillwater that's from Ohio, Barrick Jordan. He's ranked number 2 in the country. And we haven't seen each other. And it's funny because it's a clash of styles, you know. Barrick's real physical, want to get on your head. Chris score a whole bunch of points, can take you down. So that's fun, and we're looking forward to that challenge for him.
Yeah, and another one, Gabe. I mean, your son, this is a kid that's been a great athlete in football and wrestling. Last year was a state runner-up. I know he's wanting to elevate that and bring home a gold this year.
Absolutely, man. I mean, and it's one of the things that, kind of like Chris, you know, it stays tough, and Gabe's had a good year. Really come out pinning people early and been pinning people a lot, but we had a couple real tough matches that pushed us into the third period and got us in better shape for that. And then at his weight, you know, kind of the same deal as Chris, you know, he's got two nationally ranked kids in there, one from Bixby, of course, going to OSU, and then one from Edmond North that's going to OU. But they're two kids we haven't faced in folk style. I think he's wrestled them in freestyle, but it's wide open. You know, we'll go to regionals next week, look to get a crown, and then go to the big house, see what we can do.
Those are the two guys that were your gold and silver last year, but you have a whole plethora of other guys that are looking to elevate their game this year and not only be state qualifiers, but make a run at state. So go through some of those guys.
Yeah, I mean, you start off, you know, one of Chris's workout partners at 106, Jimmy Swinson. Jimmy made a huge commitment to the team going to 6 this year. You know, he was at 113 last year, so him and Chris flip-flop. But Jimmy's right there. You know, I think he's ranked 5th in the state. He's seen all the top guys but one. And the kid that's ranked 3rd's only beat us by a point at the 4+4. So Jimmy's looking to make a run and qualify for the first time. You know, he didn't qualify last year, which was a bummer and a letdown for him. But I think he'll get qualifying's not really where we're focused on. We're focused on winning a medal at the big house. So that one, and then at 120, you know, of course, we have the bigger Kaiser Cameron, and he's top 4 guy. You know, and at that weight, you have Sam Smith out of Stillwater. You got the returning state champ from 13 out of Piedmont. Devin Miller, who's a Ponca boy at Westmore. And then Cam sitting in there at 4. And he's lost by 1 point to Devin twice. That's ranked number 1. Lost by 1 point to Sam, who's ranked number 2. So right there, you know, if you told me in 3 weeks that Cameron Kaiser's a state champ, I wouldn't be surprised because he's right there.
One takedown's not much.
That's it. That's it. So then you got him at 120. Jack Swinson, really looking for him to go to regionals and get a chance to go back to state. He went last year and was in that pigtail round, that wrestling round. But Jack has put a ton of effort towards being good this year. His workout partner is Chris Kaiser, so that automatically means every day you're going to wrestle real hard. And Jack's one of the most improved kids on our team, so really looking for him to go. Preston Lee at 132. This will be his third time, qualifying or having a chance to qualify. And we're looking for him to come out of there with a medal. It's that simple. Manage regionals, get through regionals good, and then go win your medal, at the state tournament. At 138, we're going to take a young kid in Caden Trammell, just looking for experience there. Trammell from football. He's one of those kids that when you ask him to do it, he does it. And he's very coachable, so that should be fun. At 144, you got Riker, returning qualifier as well, looking to get a medal. It's that simple. And Riker, he's been banged up in the last, I'd say, weeks, probably the best he's wrestled all year. So he's in a good spot. Now from there, we're kind of young and we're kind of green from that 150 to 165. But at 65, we'll roll out a freshman, young kid, plays fourth at junior high state, Lance Arbona. He'll have a shot. I just want him to go compete.
Right.
That's the biggest thing. And then at 175, Jackson Goddard, you know him from football, another kid looking to go get experience, go win a couple matches at regionals. If we get in, that's good. If we don't, let's learn from it. Our 190-pounder actually got hurt last Friday at practice, so he'll be out. But we'll be taking a kid named Caden Lewis, who's absolutely earned it. Kind of a no-name kid right now, but hopefully with this in the offseason, he comes alive. Of course, Gabe at 215, and then heavyweight Darius Allen and William Kerfman. Got to mention him, Peanut. They've both been battling out, just getting each other sharper. But Darius is just fun to watch wrestle. The effort's there, the try's there. So. And it's that kind of team this year, so it should be fun, though.
You've mentioned you talked about an injury here or there, and that's been something this year. And I know you're not going to make excuses, but you've had a lot of key guys that were hurt, and your dual record maybe reflects that because, you got one or two key guys down. Yeah. That could be 5 or 6 points or 12 points if you add two guys up. And you've kind of been a snake bit this year with some of those injuries.
Absolutely. Ethan Papan's a kid that's worth mentioning. He had a tough first duel against Blackwell, but come out the next day and we go to Perry Tournament, he wrestles all the way to the finals and hurts his knee in the finals at Perry. We thought we may get him back, but we're not going to get him back. But he's a kid that he ain't just winning. He's getting bonus points for you. So in a dual setting and a tournament setting, but dual setting for sure takes away a lot of points. Tanner Greenfield was in that 150, 157. He was hiding his injury. He hit it through, I want to say, the Perry duel. And I, what's wrong? And he let me know, and I went and got him checked out. He's out for the year. And in that way, we've been super snake bitten. But like you said, it's go wrestle. It's got to be next man up. So.
Yeah, and with regionals coming up, I'm going to ask you this kind of in closing. You got regionals and you got state. So let's go through regionals first. You got two of the top ranked teams in the nation when it comes to Stillwater and Bixby over there. Yeah. But when you are looking at your team, what would make you come out of regionals first thinking this has been a really successful outing?
I think, of course, you want your big guns, and I was talking to you last night. Can I tell you, Jimmy to me at 106, he's a big gun. Chris obviously is a big gun. At 120, Cameron's a big gun. 32, Preston, big gun. Been in the lineup a long time. Riker, big gun. Gabriel, those 7, and then you throw in a Jack that can wrestle well. So if you can get 8 or 9 kids in, you'll feel good. And then in that team race, I want to be as close to Broken Arrow as we can be. If we can't get above them, I'd like to get above them. But Stillwater and Bixby are kind of the class of the regional. and then everybody else will be kind of playing catch up.
Well, and yeah, and a lot of your state depends on how many you get qualified. But now, when you're looking ahead to that, what do you feel like would be a real successful outing for Ponca City as far as going to state? And I know part of that is trying to get a couple of gold medals.
Absolutely. You know, and last year I think we were top 10, top 8, first time in a long time we were that high. And in those settings, 2 or 3 kids can carry you a long way. So, you know, I'm really interested to see what Jimmy does at 6. To me, it's wide open. And when you're that close, you're a takedown or 2 away from being in it. It would be really nice to see him win one. Chris, heck of a matchup. You know, it's going to be one of the most talked about matches of the year. He meets up with the Barrick Jordan kid, and it should be 2 weeks in a row.
Which was very similar to last year at Regional when he met with the Stillwater kid, the other Stillwater kid, if you remember, and
Absolutely.
That was 2 of the top 5 wrestlers in the country going at each
absolutely. I mean, and that's how it is. You know, in 6A this year, to place in the top 3 at any weight, you're going to be a national level, probably Division I type kid. So you got Chris, of course, at 13, Gabe at 215. Man, he's looked good, you know, and he's wrestled real strong. It's just going there and putting those pieces together. Gabe's a guy that he's a volume shooter. He's got to slow down a little bit, got to manage the match a little bit, wrestle smart, get his takedowns, be tough on bottom, but really looking for him to win it as well. And then 3 or 4 placers through there, and we should be in good shape.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. We'll be there for it all and ready to see this stretch for these kids. They've earned it. Now I want to see them go out there and accomplish some of their goals.
Absolutely. It's a good senior class, so we want to send them off right.
Yeah, and by the way, we'll be covering that with the radio station of Matt Team Radio, with the Triple Play Sports Radio Network for regionals and for the state championship. So you can tune in to keep up to date with everything going on with not only Ponca City, but some of the other area schools as well, especially at the state tournament. Justin Roland, head wrestling coach, appreciate your time.
Thank you.
All right, and that's going to do it for our Coach's Corner today. Thank you for watching, and until next time, Jordan Woodruff saying, go Cats.